Alright, so we're back at it again. Yep. Alright, hi, welcome. So what I'm going to be doing today, you're here with Cash Money Banks, and what we're going to be doing today is a tutorial of Red Crucible Firestorm. I know I put out some videos of some of my gameplay earlier, and yes, it's obvious to me that I suck pretty hard at this game. But I will explain to you why in a few minutes. Now, this game, it's free on the App Store, and it's also available on Steam for download. They're both free, and to be in all, it's not a bad game. For me though, personally, I play on a MacBook Air, and just because there's not enough processing power in this computer, I don't have the greatest of graphics. That's why it doesn't look so great. But if you get this on a Windows computer or something with like an Alienware or something like that, graphics are going to be pretty good. So all in all, it's a pretty decent game. Now, speaking of which, let's get into it. All right, so after you've opened up the app or started the game, you'll come to this title menu, and you'll log in. I didn't show you that because I don't want you guys to know my account, but. So you get to this after you've chosen a daily reward, which is random, but on the 7th day you'll get coins, and I'll explain what those are in a minute. Now, first off, if you click this play button right here, that will take you to a random match, whichever one is open first, and it'll load you in that way. But if you go to browse, you have the option of all different types of arenas and match types. So if you click this arena button right here, you can sort it by what map you're going to play, what type, because there will be either with vehicles, etc. The mode is like the search and destroy. That's a brand new one, along with survivor. Team deathmatch and team deathmatch resources. That's just on foot, and that's limited to some maps. But such as other maps, such as Island X, which is a new add-on that they just added recently. You can have Team Deathmatch Armored, and that involves vehicles, which I'll show you guys in a minute. So yeah, there's all these different types of maps. Now let's get into, speaking of which, if you go up to the upper left-hand corner, you can create your own map. So you'll scroll through these. There's all different types of maps that you can have, etc. As you level up, you can buy these maps, but normally you'll have enough coins when you first start this game to buy all of the maps. Let's see. You can make your match type public or private. For private games, like if you have some friends that you just want to invite on, you can start them that way. Then, if it is private, you can screw around with the score limit, time limit, players, and radar. That makes it so that they can see you on the map. But if it's public, you can't change any of that. But if it is, the things you can change if it's public, which is good, is what type of game mode you want to do. Territories, you have to capture certain areas and hold them for as long as possible, etc. Front lines, there's a description in the bottom of what they are. Conquer, that's a certain point that'll spawn, and you have to capture it. So it'll be available for about 130 some seconds for capture, and then as soon as the points have run out, you have to go to a different location and capture that, etc. Team Deathmatch Armored, I already explained that. That's just Team Deathmatch, but with vehicles. And then Team Deathmatch Resources is just, on foot. But it does with larger maps such as the Autobahn, let's see, Sledgehammer, and Red Dawn, and Sandstorm, and Island X. They will all have transports, which you can choose, but they're only vehicle, like as in cars. The helicopters are limited to the Team Deathmatch Armored and territories in some of these other games. Now, let's head over to missions. Now, missions are things that you can complete throughout the game. I've completed many of them, and only 3 of them can be active at a time, such as Death from Above. Kill seven enemies as an attack heli. So you have to kill 7 enemies within the amount of time that the match lasts, and you'll get the reward of 300 honor, 500 XP. Now, it's different for every single one, and some of them will involve specific arenas like A7, the Autobahn, or like an MVP with an APC, I'm sorry, whatever, I stuttered. So yeah, and you can deactivate this and activate others and whatnot, and so I'm going to activate that. But the uncompleted ones, which there are a lot of, these will unlock as you level up. I'm currently level 26 with about 2,100 XP to go, which it takes a freaking hell of a long time to earn XP. Let's see, now let's go on to achievements. That's just personal stuff, what you've done, like arena, like this different arenas, like I've won 250 matches in that, etc. Game mode, infantry class, sniper, sharpshooter. I've killed 1,250 in it. Wait, no, I've killed 639 people with the sniper apparently. And I've gotten the skilled marksman. Like, there are different parts to these that can be earned. This is part 4 of 5, and I'm part 5 of 5 for this, and I'll get a reward of 25 coins, 2,500 honor. Honor is this up here, and you'll be able to buy and unlock certain things, which I'll explain in a minute. And 2,500 XP, etc. And it's got demolitions, vehicles, etc. You get the point. And it'll also show you your missions as well in this category. Now you can move on to your character. It'll show right here. This is your promotions, and you can scroll through what they different have. I did buy the Titan 20G, and I did a review of that, which was my last video. But now if you go to your inventory, you can look at how fucking big this thing is. Like, it barely fits on the screen. Look at that. It's not even on the screen anymore. But it's a big ass rifle. Anyway, so you have all these other guns, and like your primary, this is for sniping, and then if you go over here, you can change that to assault, support, demolitions, for your different categories. And for your secondary, that'll be under secondary in the weapons category, and you can change around with that. And melee, which will also be in the melee category of weapons. Now, as you level up throughout multiple levels, you'll be able to unlock different weapons, and the next knife for me will be the combat knife at level 27, which I'm almost there. The same thing with rifles. You'll unlock these as you level up, etc. I've been playing long enough that I've been able to buy some of my own guns, etc. with tanks. And if you're, here's a tip. This blue helmet and whatnot in the unlock category, in the blue armor, depending on whether you want to play as the USSR or I guess you would call them the Allies, I'd assume. But if you want to play as these guys, I would suggest going over to the store and buying some actual armor, because it will level you up. It will give you more protection than the armor that you receive from leveling up. So it'll make it so that you'll be able to survive longer and get more kills. Now, if you go into the character, in your appearance, you can screw around with what you're wearing and whatnot. I'm personally wearing the Spetsnaz pants with, fucking cool ass knife and whatnot, etc. And you can change that for how many loadouts you have. You have 8 loadouts that you can choose from to assort your weapons in. I personally use only the top 5. My first one, that's a shotgun. Second one is my assault. Third one's sniping. Fourth one is support. And fifth one is demolition. Now, if you go over here to the item slots, you'll have different slots that you can use during in-game. You'll be using the number keys. I'll show you that when I go over the keyboard layout. And you can use all these different ones for, like, stationary minigun. It's okay. It's not bad. Mobile spawn points are extremely helpful. Vehicle repair kit, you'll never use them. Med kits are also very important. Let's see, boosts, speed boosts, armor boosts, gun boosts. They're all different types of boosts. I never use mine just because I don't want to. And chests you purchase in the store and can open here. They'll show in your inventory. Now over in the store there are the chests, your items, which is your chests, and you can purchase chests here for various amount of coins or honor. Oh, coins are very hard to earn. They'll only be earned when you've completed missions, achievements, or the day 7 of, like if you play consecutively for 7 days and you come back on the 7th day, it'll give you a reward of so many coins. But yeah, and then you can purchase your consumables, your boosts, and then they'll have their promotion slot here for what's new and upcoming in the game. And then you can purchase your weapons, like other weapons in the game, which are extremely expensive. But I have been able to buy a few of them. Your melee, secondary, etc., vehicles, bundles. Oh, bundles. I'll go over them. So a bundle it comes with your own uniform, etc., and you'll be able to, it'll also include guns. So technically it is a pretty good deal for what you're getting, but the only thing you have to be careful about is level up, get to a higher level first before you buy these, because it will only give you the level of armor that you are currently. So if you're level, like me, if I'm level 26, it's only going to give me tier 11 armor. Tier 12 is the highest, just because tier 12 is you receive when you're level 35, which is the highest level in the game. So yeah, be careful of that. And then you can purchase individual stuff for your head belt, like this mask, or I'm sorry, that's a helmet. Like masks, you can purchase a skull mask with like boss like that, but I can't afford it because I don't have 250 coins or 25,000 in honor, which kind of sucks. But anyway, let's see. If you click on this dude, it'll also take you to your inventory. Messages. That's just if you're talking to people. Your personal profile, if you click on that, is how much you've done, etc. Your mail, friends. Friends will light up here. Now you see that these gray dots. These will light up white if the player is online, and if they're green, they will be in game. And if you right-click on them, you can select Join Game, which isn't up because none of my friends are online. So you have the option of that, and you can also view their profiles, etc. if you want to see blah blah blah. So yeah, let's see, and then you go to messages, settings. For me, just because it's a MacBook, I put everything on the lowest quality. It makes my game run a lot faster too. Oh, key bindings. You can go through here and set up your different key bindings. Personally, I don't have regular walk, so I don't have to. Let's see. So sprint, I think for most people is Shift W. Either that or it's just Shift. I forget which. But I put it as W so I can play regularly, and I'll have my sprint as normal. So you can screw around with that. Speaking of which, I'll go to the key bindings right now, which is when you go back to the title menu, it'll be the keyboard right here. So keyboard controls, it'll give you the list of whatnot. Now with the scope, I should explain the mouse first. Firing, you can switch around with that. I would suggest if you're going to scope someone, I would not have it just like right click, just like one right click, and then your scope will come up and it'll stay there. I would not do that. I would hold down right click instead of and fire that way. You can change that in the key bindings. Soldier switch, there is third person in this game. I never use it because it's complete shit, but it is good for spawn killing, looking around walls, etc. Map zooming out, that's for your mini map that's up in the upper left corner. That's my apps. Let's see, large map, press U and that'll come up in the main section right here. Jumping, etc. You can read over this if you ever get the game. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I guess I can show you how some of these maps work, if I can get into one. Let's see. So let's go here so I can show you some of the vehicles. So now this is in-game, A7, Autobahn, and this is territories, so people will have to capture certain areas for points. So I'll just get on team 2. It doesn't really matter who's winning, just because I'm here to show you. And game will start in 3, 2, 1. And go to my inventory really quickly. You can change it, but after you're in a match, you cannot go back to your inventory, which sucks. But if you do die, you can always go back to your inventory. So I have the Javelin G right here. It's a homing rocket launcher, I guess. And it has now there's a range meter up in the upper right hand corner, which is right next to my certain abilities, and that will have like for instance, if I press the number 8 on my keyboard,
Kit deployed.
Bam, I have a stationary minigun. I can enter that and fire it, etc. Who cares? Okay, great. But you cannot exit while attacking. That's a bit of a tick-off for me. But if you come over here, oh, one more thing about scopes. It also works on this, but if you have a sniper rifle, like an upgraded version of your sniper rifle, you can, with the mouse scroll wheel, you can zoom in. It works with this too, just because it's a homing missile, but never wants to give me a ride. Anyway, so you'll press E for the vehicle selection, and you can go here and you can spawn in your different vehicles. I got this Puma G, I just bought it. It looks pretty nice. It's sort of like a railgun. But yeah, you'll have your different types of transports, artilleries, anti-airs, etc. So that's what that is. If you spawn in a vehicle, it's going to take a few minutes for it to cool down before you can spawn the same vehicle again. But then you'll have your attack helicopters and your transports. The MH6 Little Bird, that is a real military-style helicopter. They are extremely fast and very good for types of matches like this, so you can get out there fast without having to worry about killing the enemy and just capturing the points. Now, it is extremely weak though. Its armor is only about at 1,000, and at my level of playing, it is very, very weak. So what happens with this is, if you click armor, it'll show you the weak points in your helicopters, and it'll also work for your other vehicles too. So, such as this Mi-2, it'll show you the weak points, and down here there's a damage scale. So if you want to do the most damage, hit it right up near the rotors. That'd be this part of the helicopter, or back of the tail. And 100 damage, shooting it right here in the tail and the back. The least amount of damage is done down here, and so if you go higher, they'll only be able to hit your belly, which is better. But my level of playing, people have either spent like $50 on this game and just straight up bought everything that they have, which kind of sucks, and it makes it harder for people who actually earn their things, like myself, to play this game. But all in all, it is still a fun game. So you press E to get into a vehicle. Oh, by the way, these vehicles right here are standard vehicles that come with the game, and they're free to use for everybody. But, oof, mega lag. Did you see that? Yeah, I only get an FPS of like 13 right now, which is pretty shitty. But these vehicles, after you get past a certain level, they're pretty much trash, except if you're being spawn killed, which you can be spawn killed. But I'm gonna get out of this match now just because I'm lagging so hard. So yeah, I think that that'll do it for the twirl of Red Crucible Firestorm. Thanks all for watching, and I hope you have a good day. Thanks for watching.